Testing 1 2.
Hey, we live, man.
Damn it.
I'm
That's it.
talking about.
There we go. Anyway, we live.
Yeah, man.
What's popping? What's popping? Tuesday, July 20th.
Man, I need to get a newspaper. I gotta remember.
Why? What's wrong?
No, I try to get at least one newspaper a month. Just I normally get it on like somebody's birthday or something like that, just so I can look back like a year
Mm-hmm.
and to see what was going on at that time. It's interesting because it tell you how frivolous everything is. It's just
I can tell you what's going to happen. You just write this down. People don't want to work.
people don't want to work.
People don't want to keep their jobs. They want free money.
Hey, it's yeah, they done started a bad habit.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard to break because we already got entitled people
Man,
in the world, and now they got used to being entitled. So
yeah, that's what a year do. What you looking at?
that's right, though.
Oh, I went to the Black Fist
I
on.
don't know what the hell going on there. There we go. How that happened? Anyway, we back Instagram, we back Facebook, we back YouTube, we back Twitch. So we continue with our topic.
Of community.
Cancer is a community. We back with it. So this week we're going to talk about fear. Cancer, our community, fear. And as you can see, the fear is spelled out. It's an acronym. It's an acronym.
Okay.
Can't take credit for this. I got to give credit to KS.
Okay.
It's false evidence. Oh, damn it. I forgot. My mind.
Hey.
False evidence appearing real. That's what it is. Fear. It's something that I think plagues our community and plagues other communities against us. Hold on a second. Oh, hey, Donna Karen. How you doing?
Donna Karen. Donna. Okay.
Donna Karen. What's going on? Yeah, so it's false evidence against appearing real. So basically, stuff that people are putting out against the community to make it look a certain way,
Right.
have us perceived a certain way,
Right.
Stereotypes,
That's
tropes.
that's very real.
So
Getting deep on me with the
word. Yeah, no,
wordology.
yeah, tropes, stereotypes, all the above. I'm gonna run one video right quick. Let me plug this speaker up so Instagram land could hear it. But I'm gonna run this one video, then we're gonna get into it.
All right.
Why is it doing that?
What did it do? Oh,
I don't know what's up. I don't know what's up.
you see now?
That's an excellent question. I need to respond to your saying that that I create my own racial predicament by my thinking and my attitudes.
You block your progress
I block my own progress.
by allowing your attitude toward the white man to limit you.
I think the police limit me. I think that white supremacy has placed limitations on where I can go and what I can do, but I don't think that I cause my own predicament under white supremacy. And by white supremacy, I don't mean neo-Nazis, and I don't mean Klan, because I'm terrified of those people on an interpersonal basis. Institutionally, not terribly much, because most of the lethal, toxic, deadly racism that African American people experience and that other people of color experience in this country does not come from them. It comes from moral, fair-minded people who believe that they are lovers justice, churchgoers, people who experience themselves as decent and actually very nice folk. And it is there that I find my fear. Back to the question of what it means to be white. I think what it means to be white, in part, is that you have the privilege of blaming people of color for their own victimization under white supremacy. I've heard you say that to me. I've heard you say that to him. I've heard you say that to him. I've heard you say it to him. I've heard you say it to every person of color in the room who challenged your perception of yourself in the world. That is part of what it means to be white.
Maybe that's part of the answer, that we feel that the field is wide open and each man can stand on his own.
No. Read it. Each man does not stand on his own. Some men stand on other men and other women. Light-skinned men. Men from Europe stand on the heads and the parts of men and women and children of color. That is, and of course, you also stand on the heads of white women. But no, it's not a question of every man standing on his own ground. All of the ground, damn near, of this planet has been taken from almost all of the people of color on this planet. You know, Australia was a black continent. Africa was a black continent. And if the people themselves were not taken from Africa, then everything of value was taken from Africa, to the extent that that was possible. North America was a red continent. South America was a red continent. You are not standing on your own ground. You're standing on red ground. And that's what it means to be white. To say that you're standing on your own ground and standing on somebody else's. And then mystify the whole process so it seems like you're not.
My bad. What you call? I turned the speaker, the microphone down. Anyway, what you said?
I was looking stoic when we came back from the video. I was like I was part of a painting.
Yeah, no. So what that was, it was part of a video talking about why white people fear black people.
Okay.
And
Because I'll be honest, I was kind of lost.
yeah, it was the part. It was the wrong part actually.
Okay.
So, but he was telling truths. But basically, I've said this before. So the fear, false. God damn it. Brain mind is all false evidence. So the false evidence, the fear started back with the Ku Klux Klan and the Birth of a Nation, the movie I told you all about, and it got people riled up to believe that black men are predators. That got, you know what? Damn Instagram, I'm not messing with it no more. I don't know what's going. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. So anyway, but they still hear me. They just the video, something going on with the video. So yeah, it got them believing black men were a certain way, violent, sexual deviants, predators, over sexualized, and everything else, and they bought into it. Generations believe this.
Is now all that was portrayed in the movie?
Yeah. You know what? I should have got the Birth of the Nation. Tried to find that clip. From when one of the black guys, and it wasn't even a black guy, it was somebody in blackface, you know.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't even anybody black. Hey Vanisha. Vanisha be good. What's going on? Yeah, it was somebody in blackface, white person blackface, and they portrayed black men as trying to rape a white woman.
Wow, okay.
And that is how they got white people, especially white men, to fear black men and also hate black men. You remember back Django, the character somehow they've always had a problem with y'all Johnson. They infatuated with y'all Johnson, you know. That was part of it. I'm trying to find the actual date that mess came out. 1915. That's when the movie was put out.
1915.
1915.
Wow.
And it was silent film. It was, you know, but
really,
yeah, it was silent film.
Can you find it on YouTube?
I'm sure you can.
Okay.
Um, you know what? Yeah, I think I can. But yeah, it was a silent film, and it, like I said, it portrayed a black person as being a rapist. And we've seen plenty of movies since then. You know, it was
Yeah.
basically built the image of black men.
Right.
Um, but once again, false evidence.
Right.
Appearing real. There's something they believe in. There's also something that back when the white people were the poor white people, back when they were dirt poor and we were let out of slavery, they had to make a distinction between black poor and white poor.
Okay.
So they made them to believe that, you know, because of the color of their skin, you're better than a black person.
Their poverty wasn't as
It,
bad.
it wasn't as bad. It wasn't. It's not the same
You got
poverty.
that good poverty over there. You don't have that black poverty, huh?
Not only that, but then they proceed to give them stuff like land and everything
Okay.
else to make sure they believed it. So
Well,
that
I mean, that'll make a believer out of you
yeah,
when you you start reaping benefits from it. So that's interesting. I like the acronym. I heard several acronyms. I wish I could remember some. I might dig into my Google and see if I can remember some of them.
yeah,
But that's a
it's a 3 hour movie. So
oh
yeah,
really? But it's a
yes,
silent film.
yeah, it's a silent
All
film.
right.
And it's a 3 hour movie. So yeah, that would not be played. But what I can do, I can put the link up if anybody wants to look at that.
Yeah, I've heard of it many times. I've never
Mm.
seen it.
But I'll put the link in the comments. But like I said, it's what the government did. The government did this so they can believe, so white people could believe they were better than black people.
The government made this movie.
No, 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 no. It was
Oh,
somebody else. But I'm
I don't
saying,
find.
as far as giving the land and everything,
Gotcha.
giving
Gotcha.
the land, making them believe that you're better. No matter you're poor, right? But
At least you ain't black.
at least you're not black.
Okay.
So I mean, they had to the dirt poor. They had to make them believe this in order to create a divide. Because if we're in the same place, black poor,
Right.
white poor, we might decide, okay, you know what?
Let's work
We have,
together.
yeah, well, let's work together. We're in the same rut. We're being held down. We got to pay taxes and all this other stuff, and we don't have nothing. So,
That's interesting because that's what's going on. I mean, this is off topic, but that's what's going on today in
mhm,
society. It's about separation.
yeah,
Okay, he's straight, he's gay, he's black, he's white. This is a man, this is a woman,
hmm
it's all about when in reality. And all this stuff is coming from our government for the most part,
hmm
or it's being dictated by our
hmm
government. In reality,
Democrat, Republican.
right. If we could exactly,
hmm
some more division.
hmm
If we come together, you know, we can overcome the majority of our problems. But we're too busy standing on the soapbox about frivolous things like who somebody likes to kiss at night, or
hmm
what gender you was born as, or
hmm
whatever.
So, what do you identify
How do
as?
you identify?
Yeah.
Which is in the grand scheme of things, does it really matter? Unless you're trying to become intimate with someone, or you know outside of that, why does it even matter? But
No,
that's kind of off topic a little
no,
bit.
I
But
mean it's all part of it because that's how they control people, and we have to
absolutely,
understand the key is to control. The key is to control the people. As long as you keep black folks, Asians,
fight.
Hispanics,
Hmm. Men and women.
men and women apart, it's easiest for us to do stuff, and you not have a say so.
It's easy to be separated. It's
Yeah.
easy to be controlled,
Mhm.
put in a certain direction, like you said. But that's but the whole fear thing, it goes both ways as
Mhm.
well,
Yeah.
because I and this is just a small example, but I talk to people who've never been on the airplane,
hmm
and I'm talking about black people when I say this,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the first thing come out their mouth, them planes falling out the sky, and I'm like, when you seen a plane
When you seen that shit happen?
but and that's just a microcosm of what how we allow fear to keep us from doing things,
hmm
because if you don't get on an airplane
hmm
in the United States, chances are you're not going to go past, if you
Yeah.
in on the East Coast, you're not going past Texas,
Yeah.
and vice versa.
Well,
If you
driving distance,
right
8 hours, 10 hours,
right,
whatever.
you can get to Texas, I think, in 16 hours,
hmm
something like that. But same thing if you on the West Coast, you're not going much past the middle of the country.
Uh-huh.
And that's just I guess it's more symbolic than anything, how you limit yourself, letting fear be your motivation, or fear being the controlling factor of why you make your decisions. And
Yeah.
so many of us do make our decisions based off fear.
And what we don't understand is as soon as I control the way you think,
Oh,
as soon as I control your mind, I control your body.
yeah.
You can't do anything.
Nope.
So I mean that's the basis on why the whole divide and conquer. I mean, if you read any kind of books on war, any kind of books on strategy, war strategy, it's been what since the beginning of time almost in which come divide and conquer.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to beat your enemy, you have to find a way. Don't take much. Find a little small
Look out. Wedge it
yeah,
open.
yeah, wedge it open. Find the weakest link, get in there, open it up, and then you can conquer your enemy.
That's been since the beginning of time.
Yes, it's
That's
beginning of
been
time, yeah.
tried and true.
But
They know it works.
the thing is, black folks, we don't understand. We don't understand, like, we don't look at history. We don't pay attention to a lot of stuff to even understand that, you know, this is old. This is old stuff.
Right.
This shit ain't nothing new.
If you take the time out and study history, and it don't have to be just yours, but just history,
Yeah.
you will see that a lot of what we deal with today has already been gone through several times
Yeah.
over, whether it be in this country, in other nations, and in other civilizations. The exact same thing. If you look at ancient Rome, it's very similar to what we have today in America.
Yeah.
Very similar. And nobody could beat Rome outside of Rome. Rome was conquered
Crumble from within.
and that's what's taking place right here in this country of ours. And I know people don't, now I'm a patriot. I love this country. I'm not gonna lie, because I've been to so many other ones and I see the advantage that we have in America. Like I said, I know it's not perfect, but it's a lot worse places you can be. A lot worse places you can be.
And I think like when people start talking about this country and stuff, even with that, a lot of stuff fear, you know, to keep people from,
Absolutely.
you know, from being actual patriots because, you know, you can actually call out the truth about this country and still love the
It's
country.
still right, because let's be honest, nobody or nothing is perfect.
Yeah, no.
But if you had the choice between here and somewhere else, well, I can't speak for anybody else. If I have the choice, I can't think of too many places. I'm like, nah, this is where I'm gonna be, because this is where I have the most opportunity. Not to say it's fair or it's equal or anything like that, because I don't believe in fairness, because that's subjective. But this is where I have the most opportunity to try to exercise what whatever leverage I have in life. So, but it's
No, I agree. I think like I've talked to people and we talked about certain things, like you saying stuff being fair, right? Based on, once again, fear, based on fear, uh I don't want to do, like you say, go out the country. I don't want to do this. I don't. So they don't have an idea. They don't have even a clue of like what that would look like if it wasn't fair. Like it's just like, okay, things ain't fair here, you know?
Yeah. But poverty.
Yeah.
People
Poverty looks different in other countries.
Go to any other country and look at what poverty looks like. Because in America, in poverty, they got running water. They sometimes
Clean water.
Clean. like I saw a lady on the internet the other day said, what we call poverty, you got drinkable water in your toilet. And she said, no, don't drink out of the toilet, but the water that goes into your
clean.
toilet is the same water that comes out of your faucet. It's drinkable water. And we use it as wastewater. You go to some of these other countries, they don't even have running water. They don't have 4 walls and a roof. It's and that's one of the advantages I had by going to the military. I saw these things at a young age, 18, 19, 20 years old, and it completely shook my world. And I was like, man, people really live like this. But you can look at something as small as when I was growing up in Atlanta, it was certain people who had never been outside of the perimeter.
Yeah.
I'm talking about 285.
Yeah, from about 285. Yeah.
Never left the perimeter. Out of
But never left the east side. Never left the west side.
Never left the west side. Decatur, man, all the way over there.
Yeah,
I would hear that. When I go, but that's the real thing. And it was fear. Oh, the police over there, they do this or that, or it was whatever the case may be. But it limited you as to your experience, your knowledge. Like you said, you could say this ain't fair, but it can always get worse. But because you hadn't experienced it, then you don't know.
Yeah,
got a house call, doctor.
No. I just something just rang, and I thought it was one of my ring my ring camera or something. But no, and that's part of the thing. If you don't expand your horizon, if you don't learn anything new, right, it's even easier for people to impart fear in you
Absolutely.
and control you. I
Absolutely.
think our community is bad about that. We don't want to learn new things. We want to know what we know. We want to feel comfortable in the place we're at. We want to know the same people and be around the same people.
Right.
And we set ourselves up for fear-based control.
Hmm.
That's basically what it is. Um,
That's that's uh that's enlightening because I started playing golf about, oh man, it's been a minute. I don't I'm not gonna give you a time frame, but it's been a while.
mm,
But I was always told, oh, black people don't play golf.
mm,
But I had an uncle who was a heavy golf player, and I'm talking about back in the 70s and
mm.
60s. So obviously black people did play golf.
See,
Now they might
bag of bonds, whatever.
right. they might not have been allowed on certain courses,
Yeah. Mm,
which is not very different today. Now I
mm.
can't say they do it based on race, but it's based on something different.
Economics.
There you go.
Social, yeah.
But and then when I saw it on TV, I said, man, who would want to do that?
Mm.
But I didn't let that keep me from trying it.
Mhm.
Tried it, ended up enjoying it, loving
Mm.
it. Can't play worth a damn, but it's still a good time for me. And it might not be for everybody, but that's just an example of trying something outside of
Your norm. Yeah.
of your cultural
Yeah.
norm, because
Cultural norm.
because we quick to label what black people should and should not be doing.
Yeah.
Oh no,
That's
black,
white.
yeah, that's white.
That's gay.
That's gay.
Yeah. We tend to, yeah. We tend to live, but we
Oh, that's
do it.
gay.
Yeah, we do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm responsible. Even growing up, I know I'm responsible for that too. I'm not no better than anybody else. I've said certain things too.
You call somebody gay for doing
Yeah,
something?
that's
Hey man, that's gay.
That's some gay. That's some white shit.
Would you call it gay to you? What?
No, it's some
Oh.
white shit. It's white.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I
Coming
mean, but
from
like I
inner
said,
city.
same thing with
Mm.
me. Oh man, he trying to be white.
Yeah, there you go.
And
Yeah.
as I got older, I'm like, how the hell you try to
Try to
be?
be white. Yeah.
Yeah,
Your skin color can't change.
yeah, right,
What the hell?
right. But that's something I had to learn,
Mhm.
and that came from stepping outside of my comfort zone,
Mhm.
stepping outside of my cultural zone. Doing different things, just because they were different.
Mhm.
And sometimes you got to do that. Just do something different, just to be different. You'll be surprised at the things you actually will enjoy that you had never tried before.
Like junior high, I used to play tennis, and it was something I thought
Oh,
was white.
I'm
That
sure
what was white during
they
junior high.
probably
Yeah, it
called
was
it
white.
gay too when you were playing.
Nah, they didn't call it. It was white though. I mean, it
Yeah,
was something white. No
absolutely.
black people when they
Absolutely.
really wasn't playing tennis back then.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead, bro.
no, I was about to say I didn't know anything about Serena and them. I guess they was
Oh,
playing.
but you
Back
had
then or
like
whatever.
Arthur Ashe was out there. Well, he wasn't out there,
Yeah,
but
he
was.
wasn't mainstream. No, I used to
Nah,
like John McEnroe.
you had to go look for him.
John McEnroe. That's what I
Right.
used to do.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
because he was entertaining.
yeah, he's entertaining.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
so I can get that. But I played the violin growing up. Oh, that's gay. That's gay. And my response would always be, the Minister Louis Farrakhan played the violin. What you talking about?
Okay.
Ain't
All
nothing
right.
gay about.
You had a comeback.
Yeah, I
Okay.
had a comeback.
You had a comeback.
I say Farrakhan played violin. What you talking about? Ain't nothing gay about the violin, man. And it don't look the manliest when but
Cultured Negro. Cultured
oh
Negro.
man,
Oh, look at
hey,
you over here.
you gotta open the book. And I was forced into that because you know what? I went with the cultural thing. I'm like, yeah, I want to play the trumpet. Yeah, I'm gonna play the.
Yeah.
And they were like, all the trumpet spots taken.
Yeah.
And
Everybody want to play trumpet.
yeah, and
Miles Davis.
I had the orchestra teacher came to me and said, look, you come over here and play one of these string instruments. We go on way more field trips. We got a lot more because the band is so big they can't really go anywhere. But the orchestra is so small, we do a lot more trips. And she taught me into it. And I think I did it for 2 or 3 years.
Look at you.
Yeah, I break it out right now.
Stradivarius.
Break out the Stradivarius and play a couple of notes. But yeah, but that, like I said, stepping outside that comfort zone, being and there's nothing wrong with being afraid or fear. But when you allow it to make your decisions for you, then that's where the problem lies for me.
There's certain things, healthy fear and unhealthy fear.
Right.
When you allow, like you said, when you allow to map your course and keep you from doing things, because you're uncomfortable. I mean, that's debilitating fear.
Especially unknown fear. It's one thing. Okay, I know if I stand in the street and get hit by this car, it's a good chance it's gonna hurt me, or maybe kill me.
Kill you. Yeah.
But when you don't want to go to another state because you heard they do this there,
Mhm.
or nah, you can't live your life like that. But based on what you heard, you don't know. Let's get some facts in there before you start making decisions on.
And you can see that in everyday life. Like,
Oh yeah.
why didn't expand MARTA, right? What they say? Come on now. What they say? Why didn't expand MARTA to other counties?
They didn't want us going out
They
there.
didn't want the
man.
black people
They
going
didn't
out
want
there.
us going out
They didn't want us to show up in their neighborhood. So that's fear. Just fear-based stuff that people do every day that you don't even think about it. That molds their mind, molds their life, and they don't even realize. You're keeping yourself in a certain position that people want you to be in because of the fact that you fear.
You fear, and then you playing along.
Yeah.
Into their hand,
Mhm.
I guess you can say. But yeah, it's man, I could talk about this all day because I have so many examples of how fear has stopped people. It stopped me, in certain aspects. I had to learn to deal with it and move beyond it. But I mean, it's an everyday part of life.
Mhm.
Brian Norman, I was talking to him about it one day, and he was
He
like,
said call you, by the way. He was over
call
there
him?
last night. Yeah, he said call.
Oh, but
He was trying to call you. Anyway.
trying to call me?
Yeah.
We
Answer
don't
phone.
cut off time. No, I'm
Go.
saying my phone is terrible, man. A
Oh.
lot of people making that claim they tried to call me, but
Okay, whatever. Go ahead.
but he talks about he's not afraid of anything,
Mhm.
and he said that's why and if you look at some of the moves he made, you can tell this dude has no fear.
Yeah. Mhm.
And I mean, just hey, he done made some moves, and I told him every time I said, man, I'm proud of
That's
you,
some
bro.
brave ass moves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Mhm.
dude, but he has no fear. He was like,
Mhm.
when don't let fear control you, man.
Mhm.
Smart dude, man. What?
I just got a message. Violin was gay. I just got a message.
Somebody I know said that.
Nah,
Oh,
ain't
okay.
nobody know. Ain't nobody know. But
Hey, I made it. I made it, man.
yeah, I
Hey,
made it cool. I brought it in.
Hey, I made it, man.
I
Now
brought it in.
you see jokers playing rap songs
Yeah,
on
I
the
can't remember
electric violins and
that
stuff.
cat. Start with a D. I can't remember his
I know
name,
you're
but
talking
yeah.
about. I started that. You
Oh, you
let-
started? Okay, you started.
you let them know
okay.
that I started
You
that.
start. Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
thanks to me.
Okay, I want go ahead on play it now. Let's see. Let's see.
Hey man, that thing out there. Got a little bit of that. Y'all ain't ready for that, man.
No, okay, we ain't ready. All right. See, I mean, just to make a little light of fear, right quick. Fear keeping you from going outside of whatever that shirt you got on and going to
Oh
a
my
better team.
goodness.
That's
Rise
keeping
up, baby.
that's what's keeping you.
That ain't fear, baby. That's pride.
Nah, that's fear from doing something better.
Fly,
You know.
Falcon, fly.
Oh
Just make
Jesus. Oh Jesus. Oh Lord. This delusion over here, delusion of
Nah, man.
grandeur.
No fear.
Of
No fear,
grandeur.
baby.
But
No fear. Saints come to town, no fear.
okay, anyway. Yeah, no, also in our community, right, it was from white people, on their side, but on our side, the fear of integrating white people and doing things, because we feel we have to be over here.
Right.
I'm gonna say, well, I have two minds about this. I'm gonna say that integration didn't really help us a lot.
I think it hurt.
I think it's hurt us more. But the thing was that during the process, if we would have looked at it different, if we would have treated it different and did different things, it could have worked for us.
Give the audience an
Okay.
example of what you mean.
So in the integration process, you had certain people that fought against the process in our community that fought against the process, right? When Dr. King was doing what he was doing and everything, he got stabbed. We had people, so not being unified in that, because you have people fear certain things, they don't unify. If we all had one voice in our community, it could have worked better because we were being able to establish stuff like you have little China, you have little Italy, you have little, different parts. We could have took a piece of land or whatever, we'd have made our own outside of what happened. And that's the other thing, fear, right? Fear of what happened in Rosewood, what happened in Tulsa, right?
Right.
It's controlled us. Whatever these little towns we just heard about that got flooded, they flood these towns, and Lake Lanier was one of them. And because of the fear of knowing these stories, we allowed it to keep us separated, divided. We have some people that don't want to follow because, like, okay, no, this is going to happen. This is only going to happen. They're gonna take it from us. They're gonna, why even do it? So based on that, I mean, if everybody was unified in understanding that, with strength comes numbers. I mean, with numbers comes strength.
Hmm.
Then it would have been a better situation. Think about having a little Africa and they had to come over there like white people. They like black shit.
Well, they just
They like black
they like to
shit.
pretend that they not pretend, but they like to feel like they can be a part of any culture.
Yeah.
They because they really don't have much culture.
Mhm.
They adapt to
They
everybody else.
borrow from a lot. Yeah.
They adapt to everybody else, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Mhm.
I'm just speaking facts right now. They don't have. I mean, because what is white culture other than being white? It's not.
I mean, it depends. I mean,
Like,
you got German. You have.
well, you
I
got like
mean,
your
yeah,
Irish, the
yeah,
different
Irish, yeah,
countries,
countries,
stuff like that. But I'm talking about in
yeah.
far as
America.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not really a culture there.
Mhm.
So they adopt a lot of other cultures, and there's nothing wrong with that because, I guess everybody does it,
Mhm.
to an
To a
extent.
certain extent. Mhm.
But yeah, you're right. That'd be pretty cool. Well,
You know.
and we had places like that,
Mhm.
but it was, I think it was such small pockets because of possibly fear
Mhm.
or
But I'm
work.
saying during integration because we had it prior to
Oh yeah, we
integration.
had a Friday.
We had prior to it where they didn't want to mess with us, right?
Yeah.
But once integration happened and we just stayed together and carved out the little places,
Uh-huh.
then eventually what would happen, like, okay, when we had the whole civil rights and we started becoming this being accepted, it was like, okay, we're gonna go here to little Africa. We're gonna go
Mhm.
here and we're gonna get uh whatever. We like kente cloth clothes or whatever. We like
Right.
shea butter. We have, all the
Black
African
suit.
stuff, the woven stuff like they have in Charleston, right? You go to a little market, you have the little baskets, you can buy anything that, because we people that are good with our hands. I mean, we make stuff, have stuff that fix, you know,
Ailments.
yeah, yeah, doctors own, special herbs and stuff.
Mhm.
Even fix machines and stuff like lawnmowers and all that
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
We could have that all in our community,
Oh yeah.
and we could have had a hold on just that, like a
Right.
monopoly on that, basically,
Uh,
because we were the when we got our slavery. Think about it. We were the ones that were the manual forces, so we had stuff that they didn't understand or they didn't have.
absolutely. We had developed a certain level of skill
Hmm.
on many
Yeah,
different avenues.
yeah,
And that's just it was almost forced upon us, but it still was beneficial
yeah. It's beneficial.
at the same time. Now with integration, I think the thing that hurt us the most was we were aspiring to the wrong thing. We weren't looking to like have, and we wanted equal education and all that, but we were more so looking at
Equal outcomes.
the equal outcomes. I want to live over on this side
Mm.
of town. And
And we do it today.
it's probably a good
Mm.
motivator, but
Mm.
that shouldn't be your end result. You
Yeah,
should want some substance in that, and because you have that substance inside of you, then you end up in a higher
mm.
tax bracket or whatever the case may be. But not just to do it to say, okay, I've arrived.
That is
I
your
think
end result, not your goal itself.
absolutely,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you put the right stuff in place, you're just gonna end up there
Mm.
anyway.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's where we saw the end game and not what it took. Not didn't want to take advantage of what we could have got to get to that point.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
So,
we still do it today. Like
yeah,
we sit there and we talk about the end, and nobody talks about what it takes to get there.
what,
Nobody wants to
absolutely
focus on that. Everybody wants that end result. Everybody wants to just snap your fingers and we bought.
instant success,
Yeah.
baby. And it don't, it's not easy. It's not easy. I'm a prime example of it. I'm still working on it, man. I'm still trying to get it right.
Yeah. I mean, all us. I mean, we black folks in America. I mean, some get it easier, but
Yeah, I
for
mean,
most of us, it's not happening like
and see
that.
that's always been my thing. And that's why I say I don't like when people start talking about fair,
Mm.
because it's no really such thing. No two things are the same.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what I want is an opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
and then some people gonna have to work harder, and you can look at something as simple as sports. Normally taller guys have an easier time playing basketball.
Mm-hmm.
That don't mean shorter guys can't play,
Yeah,
but
they have to work harder.
they have to work hard. You
Mm.
see a shorter guy in the NBA, he worked his ass off. Best believe that's the only way he got there.
Yeah,
Same thing with the NFL. You see a little small guy in the NFL, he worked his ass off.
yeah,
That's just he didn't just show up and say they said okay, yeah, come on, you
yeah.
black. You can get on. Nah, they worked their ass off. So it's no such thing as fair, but leave that opportunity open. Don't
Mm.
shut the door on people just because of their skin color.
Mm.
Because they are black or
Mm.
whatever the case may be.
Yeah. So do you think like even like well, I know it, but even our younger generation, right? Fear is keeping them from doing things like you said, outside the norm. Uh
Well,
all of them want to look the same way because of
oh man,
fear of
of being different,
being
of being an
yeah
individual.
being an individual because they don't want to be talked about. Like we've made bullying the boogeyman to where okay if
Yeah,
somebody talk about you say something oh it's bullying not you're
yeah.
being
Anything that somebody says that you don't like is
you don't
pretty much
like
bullying.
so they don't want they fear that so that fear is keeping them in a
Hmm.
certain place to where you can't break them out of it.
It is, and and single moms. I'm not jumping on you or anything, but a woman's mentality a lot of time is safety,
Mm,
and fear is a big motivator in how why they do the things they do. So
mm,
that passes on to the kids a lot of times, where they,
mm,
oh, my mom said, it's I think I'm gonna try to get this young man on the show too one day. He's 19, I think, and just some of the things that he's been told,
mm,
by his mother is just foreign to me. And I'm like, that is, for me, it's like it's so stifling
mm.
for his development as a human being as well as a man.
A young man.
And I'm just like, you cannot make it in this country with that thought
Mm,
process. You will not. You gonna be at the bottom of the barrel complaining that the man got his foot on your neck,
yeah.
and maybe he do, but also your thought process is keeping you in a certain place too. It's holding you back.
Self fulfilling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and but it's fear based
Yeah.
on something that was passed on to him from the matriarch.
Mm, yeah.
So
I mean, okay, so let's go back to that since you said that. So the matriarch, even back during slavery, right? That's how they controlled the slaves. If you realize that it was a matriarch from them because the woman was the stronger. Well, I'm not saying she's stronger, but mentally, women made sure their daughters were stronger mentally, and the boys kept them stupid because being smart and being a strong male
dangerous.
was dangerous and would get them killed. So that fear was imparted in the woman, and what happens is that the woman passes on to her kids.
Yeah,
And once you impart fear in the nurturer, the teacher, the first teacher, um, it
that,
just sets the par
th-
for the course.
that's the seed
Yeah,
that you've
yeah,
planted
yeah.
in that individual, and it
Mm,
takes and that's why you shouted out KS about
mm,
fear. That's why he always talking about that therapy.
yeah.
Go get checked out because we got a lot of unhealthy, unnatural fears of things that we shouldn't, and we believe it to be
Mm,
true in many cases when it's just our own perception
yeah,
of
the
reality.
reality.
So it's
Even I mean not interracial, but interpersonal experiences like with between man and woman, right? Is the whole fear thing. They pump fear into and not don't get me wrong, right? Some men, yeah, there's a problem. Some men are the big bad, whatever. Some
predators.
men are predators, right? But that's not the majority of men. And they pump fear into women because as long as they keep women away from black men, they can be controlled. You can be sold anything, any bill of goods, because you're not talking to us personally. You're not getting to understand men personally.
And you're not. I've heard you say about falling under authority or
Mm,
whatever, but you're not allowing a man to use one of his best attributes, which is his logic.
yeah,
You know, when you stay separated from
yeah.
him, you allow somebody else to come in and kind of give you the story. It,
Mm,
it might be a man, but it
yes,
might not be
yeah.
the right
It's not,
man.
yeah, or yeah, it's somebody that
Don't have your best
don't have
interest.
best interest at heart, right? Because no matter what in this country, we're still. I don't care who done made it, who's making money, who's doing whatever. Still, you are still in a place where you're not looked at as being equal to everybody else in this country.
Right.
There's a tier system in this country to where um white men are at the very top of the tier. Black women, you fall somewhere maybe third or fourth because they will allow black women to get a certain place, and then black men fall probably around above Hispanic men, like towards the bottom. So yeah, it doesn't suit them to keep bring us together because then what happens? We have a stronger family. We have a
Yeah.
stronger family, then we can say, you know what, we need to do our own thing.
Start removing them fears
Yeah,
from. I mean, it's like I said, we out of order. That's all I can
Oh
say.
yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
out of order, man. It changes
Hey,
so much.
fear, once again, fear. Even with men, right? Young men, fearing just words, just
Taking an
talking.
ass whipping.
Yeah, taking an ass whip. Yeah, that's why people that's
That's why they
dying in
shooting
the
each
streets.
other.
Yeah, that's why they're shooting. Used to be a time where, okay, yeah, we have a problem being masculine. Okay, yeah, we're gonna fight this out.
Mhm.
We're gonna handle this problem. If we can't handle it with words, then we're gonna fight it out. And then after that, okay, it's solved.
Yeah, and you weren't
know.
trying to kill him.
No.
You just, you felt like this is how, and that's one way to get rid of some aggression and
Aggression, yeah,
energy.
yeah.
But what it does also, it teaches you that, okay, this might not be the way I want to go every time I have a
Yeah.
disagreement with somebody. Because
You start respecting people more too behind that.
right, you get in a fight with somebody, you probably gain some respect for
Mm.
them, and like I said, it takes you out of that whole fist mentality.
Mm.
Because
Yeah.
you're like, okay, he can hurt me just where I can hurt him.
Mhm.
So, let me think twice before I get into this. Now, if I get into it, I got to do what I need to do.
Mm.
But it's other avenues to settle these things versus that. But the youth today, they never took an ass whipping.
No, no.
And
That's the worst thing in the world.
they
So
definitely afraid
pulling
of
the
it.
trigger
So
ain't shit to them.
they pull out the gun, man.
Yeah.
And now you into somebody's life. It's
Mm.
over.
And now
You-
your life over.
You get to go
Yeah.
spend however long
Mm.
in when somebody's
Incarceration.
incarceration.
Yeah.
So it's I think that's a big thing.
Mm.
The fear of just man, I can go on about that as well, but it's just so many things that are necessary. Failure is necessary to be strong.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's what an ass whipping is.
Mm.
You took an L, but
Yeah.
it builds character. You learn some lessons, but hopefully you learn some lessons behind it. Some
Mm.
maybe some people don't. I don't know.
Yeah, some people don't, but the thing is that what you understand, right? You get even with that, right? I always go back because I was a big kung fu. I was a big kung fu fan, right?
I love kung
So when
fu.
you fought somebody, you knew that person, like you knew, okay,
His fighting
some
style.
yeah, his fighting style. So if somebody fight dirty, okay, you know respect. He don't,
Right. Right.
So you got to feel a person out. Um,
Right. You're right. You can tell
Yeah.
a lot about a
Yeah.
person by the way they
Yeah.
fight. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a time growing up for us. It was one on one.
Yeah.
Wasn't no jumping in.
Mhm.
Wasn't no jumping in. But now, you argue with this dude in front of you, and somebody come and hit you from
Behind, yeah.
behind. I'm trying to figure out I don't know.
But
It's crazy.
it's about because they're scared to
It's
take that
yeah,
L.
they don't
Fear.
want to take that L.
They don't want to take the L.
And that's the easy way to run up and hit somebody from behind who don't know they even in confrontation with you. That's like the ultimate coward move.
Yeah, it's coward, but they don't say it. They don't think it's that way though. They don't think cause it being coward.
What I've noticed, they do that, and then they get all they hype now
Yeah.
because they done knock somebody out, hitting them from behind that they didn't know they was in a
Yeah,
confrontation.
playing dirty. Yeah.
And it confuses the hell out of me. I'm thinking, how you feel, how you sleep at night, knowing that's how you roll, But it's a different
Because
time.
it's different time, and they don't have they don't have haven't been in a household, right?
Yeah.
Talking, men had to teach you certain things, right?
Yep.
You had to learn that growing up for men. Hey, you look a man in the eye, right?
Yep.
Shake his hand, you look a man in the eye.
Yep.
There's certain things comes with being a man that we taught younger men or our sons or whatever. A lot of these young kids don't have. These young men don't have that stuff. They don't have the foundation of what it is to be a man. So everybody's looking at masculinity like any man has masculinity. Any man has that.
He's a male.
Because he's male, yeah.
Masculine. That's the far from the truth.
Yeah.
Far from it. Because what we see today is not, they got the term toxic masculinity, and it's not it's the lack of
masculinity. Mm-hmm.
That is why we have all the violence today. Because it's no reason for violence for the most part, unless it's life or death. Your family's on the line.
Yeah, it's only so many reasons.
Look at why these people are dying, and it's not over anything major. It's over some garbage.
Stupidity. Stupidity.
So that's
like I said, feelings. It's because feelings.
Somebody got their feelings hurt.
Yeah, my feelings hurt, so somebody got to die.
Somebody got to die. And it's sad.
And that's not masculinity. That's the furthest thing from masculinity.
Absolutely. It's sad. Real sad.
Fear of people looking them a certain way. That's why they're gonna think I'm a punk. If because
well, I mean, Yeah.
They're gonna think, if I don't shoot them, they're gonna fear putting you in another situation where
And
you're gonna be fighting. You're gonna be fighting for your life.
and let me just say this. I probably shouldn't. Well, I'm gonna say it anyway.
Mm.
That's a real thing. For somebody to hold a gun in your face, and decide whether or not they're gonna pull the trigger. What I've learned, if you turn your back on that person,
More likely they're gonna pull the
they're
trigger.
gonna shoot you.
Yeah, more likely they're gonna pull the
And
trigger.
hopefully you're never in
Yeah.
that situation.
Now,
But
I've been in that situation, so
if you turn
yeah.
your back and run,
Yeah.
they're gonna shoot
Yeah.
you. It's I'm gonna say almost a 99% chance because of the whole fear. I mean, and then when you run, that kind of empowers them.
I think you get more respect not cowering in that situation. That
Oh yeah, because
I've been in that situation,
oh
like looking
man,
the dude
and
straight in the face, like, okay,
that's unfortunate.
you got the power, so
That's
why am I
unfortunate
gonna even?
that the both of us have been in something
Yeah.
like that. And we just two average Joes,
Mhm.
but what's the chances that? But I guess it happens
It
more
happens.
often
Oh yeah, it happens.
than
Just people don't
than
just
I
talk
want
about
to
it.
admit.
Yeah, people don't talk about it. Shit, it happened to me 3 times. So shit.
Oh yeah, not three for me.
Yeah, it happened to me 3 times. Yeah. So, but once again, I think uh lack of fear is dangerous. I mean, you have to fear at some point. Lack of
Right.
fear is dangerous. Reckless. You can be reckless, lack of fear.
Yeah.
But to let fear control you and your moves and your everyday life.
If it's not based in facts,
Yeah, it's not, there you go. It's not based in facts. Yeah, it could be
because I heard
dangerous also.
I heard all kind of stories growing up and believed them and was afraid of them,
Mhm.
but they were all make believe.
Perfect example. You just said and brought it back what I wanted to say too. So black folks and superstition, right? We
Oh man,
fear, superstition. Like you hear all kind of stuff, superstitious shit. Don't with
step
the
on,
pole.
don't
Don't
split the
split the pole.
poles,
Don't split the pole. I'm like, what? Where'd
and
you come
and
from?
and it's a religion.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I've been with people that's like no, and they'll
And
go
they'll walk
back.
all the way around.
Well, you do whatever you like,
Yeah.
But I,
Mhm.
but yeah, like you said, but that's a
Mhm.
form of control.
Mhm.
Super. I mean, come on, man. You really?
No, yeah. People live their life like that, man. Fear, just fear and stuff. Uh, Old wives' tale, old superstitious stuff. Living their life like that when they
Mhm.
can be doing utilizing their energy doing such
Something productive,
bigger, yeah,
some
productive or
big
whatever.
things,
Not worrying about fear and stuff, and put their energy into producing.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
But you're right. That's one of those things that super. But it holds you back, man. Fear is crippling. It is crippling. Look at this man.
Okay, so I wasn't going, but I'm going. So the other big thing is religion.
Wow, he hit y'all in the
Yeah,
mouth with that one.
religion is one of the things that the black community since slavery
Hmm.
has been utilized to
Control.
keep us docile.
Hmm.
Go to the movie with Nate Parker. Was it Nate Parker? Yeah, no, it wasn't Nate. I'm sorry. Um,
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about. The one damn it, somebody put it up there. I can't remember the title
Nate
of the movie.
Parker.
But the one about, and I don't keep on wanting to think Crispus Atticus, but it's not. It's damn it, drew a blank. The guy they was using him to preach to the slaves.
Oh, I know.
You're
Oh,
using him to preach to slaves. I
um,
can't remember. Yeah, whatever. But they
Nat,
was using Nat Turner.
there you
There you
go.
go, Nat
Nat
Turner.
Turner.
Yeah, Nat Turner. There we go. And I think it was Nate Parker. But Nat Turner, yeah, Nat Turner, right? He realized he was being used to keep the slaves docile, keep them in place.
Keep him.
And out of that, he realized that fear was keeping them in one place, and he utilized that against like, okay, we're not going to fear, you know, this is what, and if
Death.
yeah, basically you're waiting to die, so you
Mhm.
might as well die fighting to get freedom.
Yeah, because who knows what might happen?
Mhm.
You might get free. But if you stay here, it's for certain you will die
You will
here.
die. You will die doing nothing.
Yeah,
It's better to taste a little bit of freedom than to
yeah.
die on your knees or die,
Yeah.
in bondage.
But religion has been used fear based for as long as
Thousands of years.
I can remember.
Yeah, no. Anybody that's a student of history, the Christian Muslim wars, one of the bloodiest wars fought behind religion. Yeah, we're gonna make you believe what we believe.
Ain't that amazing?
And they used to cut the heads off people and put it on spikes
Just to let you know.
just to let you know. So, once again, religion is one of them things. I've never, and we believe it wholeheartedly. I've never met nobody that came back from hell and said it's hot down that motherfucker. I've never had that happen. Um, but we believe it wholeheartedly. I believe there's a creator, but we're being fed stories by other men.
Yeah.
If you don't believe this, look it up. There's a slave Bible that they wrote just to, or actually they didn't write it. They did. They took pieces out of the Bible just to keep the pieces to keep us.
Well, that's kind of what we have now in the Bible. I mean, it's been parsed together.
Yeah. They took certain books out of the Bible. Yeah, they did do that too. So,
but it's all about instilling that fear.
It's all about control.
And control, man. That's a very real thing, and that's one of the reasons you don't see a lot of men in church. Today.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because
it goes against logic.
Yeah, they're like, man, nah, it's not gonna work.
And you see men in church majority of the time, they there because women there.
They're there for the hookup.
They there because women there.
Okay.
I mean, hey, what it is, what it is. I mean,
that's how it works. I'm telling you,
it's like club mentality.
Hey, nature is undefeated. You can't fight nature. Wherever women are, men will show up.
Men will show up. So, once again, it's fear. It's fear keeping people in a certain place. And I don't want to get on religion. Let me stop religion right now because I'm about to say certain things. I can make it our own thing. But it's fear keeping us in control. And after our mind believes something, what appears to be real, we're just gonna keep doing it until we no longer here. But in the meantime, we pass it on to our kids.
Yeah, because that's essentially what happens. If you have a fear, you transfer that over to your children.
Mm-hmm. I can't remember what it's called.
I think that's the most
shared
selfish thing
something. It's do something. It's a French name, but it's about delusion, not really fear, but it's the same. It's the same concept, right? It's shared delusion. It's does something. I can't remember what the term is called in French.
Probably do say.
Nah, that's liquor. You want something to drink?
It's shared delusion. That's what it is.
Do say. Share some of that do say.
Share that delusion.
But same thing. We could pass fear on. Mothers pass fear on their daughters about men. Their sons about fearing the white man.
Everything.
Think about the first slaves that left free. They wasn't worth anything because they heard the stories about getting beat by white men. So think about it. They don't want to do nothing but
not get beat.
Just not get beat. So they acted like I'm gonna get beat. And sad to say, they had Jim Crow. So a lot of times they was put in the prisons and had because of what it was, but it's like I said, I think we've been controlled long enough, and we've let fear control our community long enough.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what it's going to take for majority of us to get out of the place that we believe that we don't deserve better. We can't do better.
For me, it's that's where we are now with the information age. We can debunk a lot of this if we choose to, because the information is out there, and you cannot read. I mean, you cannot believe everything you read on the internet, but you can pull from multiple sources, and you can come up with a pretty good conclusion on whether or not this is real or is it garbage, But unfortunately, we have all this information right here in front of us, and nobody's reaching out to grab it. We use the internet for all kind of stuff.
The latest dances.
Oh man. Show somebody what you eating.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My son was watching that mess. We watch somebody eat crab legs. What the hell is that? What's interesting about that?
We done failed our children, man. My son, he used to love it. I hadn't seen him watch it in a while, but he used to love it. I forgot what they call it, but we'll sit there and watch people eat food. And I'm trying to figure out what kind of entertainment is that.
They smack.
When they would sit there.
What
Oh,
the
oh, look, they
hell?
get ready to eat some gummy bears, and are you serious? Hey, I have failed my child. You know,
Hey,
let me, man.
y-
I don't
you,
know where that came from.
I don't understand either.
Maybe that's lack of PE. Then get to go outside and play. I'm serious, bro. That blows my mind right
Another thing, critical race theory.
now. Okay, get going to school me on
So
critical.
critical race theory, they just passed something in Texas. Now this is done. There were studies, and I was talking about it when the nonprofit, we have Zoom meetings every Monday. We was talking about certain things, educating black folks and all that other stuff. Black and brown folks. It's Black and Brown Bridge. Um, they passed something in Texas, and what they're trying to do, I can't, what they're trying to do, they're trying to like minimize the role of Dr. Martin Luther King did, during the civil rights movement. And there's two other people I think they're trying to kind of, minimize their role in history. But they're trying to bring up the KKK and try to paint them as not being bad people.
See, I've been hearing that term
Mm,
critical race
mm,
theory a lot lately, but
mm.
I'm not. I hadn't researched it at all.
So it's what it actually is. You want to teach people the truth, teach kids the truth in schools about what happened in America, with race and with how it plays a part. So how it plays a part with black people not having land, not having the equal opportunities that white people had. Um, how the Hispanics got land got taken, the Native American land got taken, stuff like that. Stuff that you have to go to college and learn. You have to pay to learn. But this is the truth. We know it's the truth, so why can't our kids learn stuff that's true? You test them on all kind of lies,
hmm
and they will go out in the world believing this stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
and that goes back to my thing. If you want your kids to know something, you got to teach it to them yourself.
mm,
Because if you wait, I mean, if you think back in school about your different history lessons, how much of that was actually personal to you as far as had an impact on, very little,
Probably 2 weeks out of the whole,
right.
2 or 3 weeks out of the whole
Time
school
you was
year.
in school,
Mm,
the whole time you was in school, because you did world history and then you did geography or whatever. They mixed it up. But when you
mm,
start dealing with history, it was American history, and then you might have your particular state history or whatever. But very little had to do with you as an individual.
mm.
Even though we know we were there somewhere.
Yeah,
Somebody wrote these
yeah,
books,
they
but
just glazed over it.
right.
Y'all showed up. And that's why you have people like Ben Carson. Black people came here to get better results and better lives for their
But
grandchildren.
you don't like Ben? I like Ben,
What?
man.
You didn't hear that foolishness?
No, I didn't hear that. But
Okay,
see,
look that shit up.
I don't look at
Ben Carson.
TV, so
No, yeah. Look at the news. Look it up.
that's what.
Black
Hey,
people
he sound like Brian. Like he was
look.
like, man, you
Yeah,
need to look at the
yeah.
news. I'm like,
Yeah,
man,
you need to
I'm
know
not
what
looking at
the bullshit. Yeah.
Well, I see it
Mm,
every day, but
yeah.
that's. I digress.
But that's the stuff and I'm sorry, get back to the point about the critical race theory, right? So the reason why they're trying to get white people, normal white people, parents, or whatever, that might not be racist to buy into this is because they want them to fear that if we teach this, it's going to make some kind of way segregation happen. Some kind of way is going to,
So you said they worried about segregation?
well, they worried about, being, well, no, they worried about not being looked at as being evil. They looked at it first, but they said, okay, you're forcing segregation or whatever. But the reason why they're doing that is because they found out that if the kids get to learn about black folks and get to, Latinos, whatever,
hmm
start understanding them, start, interacting, and, we become one, they're not going to vote Republican. Majority of the time, they're going to vote Democrat.
mm
And that's the reason why Texas is a red state. That's the
hmm
reason why they're trying to push this so heavily, because they don't see a place to where they can come back, because these youths, these youngsters that's voting, they don't give a shit about what their parents and their grandparents, they don't care about that. They like rap music, they like big butts black girls and all this other stuff.
But black
They
girl.
you know, I'm just saying they like with their parents, you know, and their grandparents. They totally against everything else.
Right.
So they're trying to do some reprogramming of the youth, and they trying to catch them in school, just like the prison preschool to prison pipeline
Well,
type stuff.
that's the key demographic.
Yeah.
If you want to change your outcome, you got to hit them
In the school.
in the school in school age. So I'm gonna have to look into it. The
Critical race theory. Look at it.
critical
Like I
race
said, they just passed it today. I think.
so it's a law.
No. Well, no, it's not a law. It's
Oh,
what they're trying to do in the school system. So,
okay,
you know, critical race theory is what they call it. You know, when they're teaching the kids certain things,
gotcha.
and they're trying to vote no for critical race theory.
Oh,
They're
gotcha.
using fear. It's gonna do this. It's gonna do that. In order to try to control. And what people don't understand, it's a way for the Republicans, the government, the powers that be, to
Mhm.
keep us from coming together and understanding the truth. And whitewashing is already whitewashed. History is already whitewashed.
Yeah, it's
So
been,
how are you gonna whitewash this shit anymore? It's gonna be transparent. It's gonna be transparent. They do anymore.
and I always say, whoever wins the war gets to write the
You to write the
story.
story. Yeah.
So it's several stories out there, and everyone is from a different aspect.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
But this time, I mean, I see a good thing. I mean, they've taken down a bunch of uh Confederate army, statues and different stuff like that. Why would you ever celebrate that? Why would you even talk about that? Because they were the losers. It's crazy because it was why they were against black people. They were, slave stuff, and that's why they told those stories.
hmm,
There's no reason, like you said. Supposedly, the winner writes the stories.
right.
Confederates were the winners.
No, they did
They
not
they
win.
didn't they didn't win.
They
So
didn't win.
you have a bunch of Confederate soldiers being hailed as the heroes.
Yeah, and it's still if you look around different southern states, you still see a lot of Confederate flags.
Mhm.
A lot of them claim it to be, and I'm not gonna tell somebody what they believe or think,
Mhm.
but they claim it to be like a heritage or
Yeah.
something like that. I can't say one way or the other. I'm not even gonna pretend like I know it's in the heart of another man. So,
But
but
I could tell you this: they will never like they would say it's not okay for somebody to fly a swastika or
no,
a German over in any place where they got German people. I mean, not Jewish people. I'm sorry, Jewish people,
no.
Jewish community.
You
They
see,
would think it's okay
hey,
to go fly that.
you see the slightest thing that even resembles a swastika, it's on the news. It's making headlines. You're
Yeah.
gonna
Oh yeah.
hear
Oh
about it.
yeah. You
It's
gonna hear about it?
and it's and you look at it like that ain't really no swastika, but okay, but you're right. It's very that's much sensitive. That's
Yeah.
much more sensitive, and they gives a bigger response than some of the other stuff. I guess like your Confederate statues and things of that nature. That's what I'm saying.
Because they fear the Jewish people
Right.
as a
Well, they feel
community.
that. Well. I got I don't claim to know the entire
Mhm.
structure of
Mhm.
of the pyramid, but
Mhm.
they apparently a lot of Jewish people are in the top part of it. They
Yeah,
make a
wealthy.
lot of
Mhm. Yeah,
they make a
they
lot
make
of the
moves.
moves.
They make moves.
So when you making moves, you get to dictate the outcome, and that's kind of what we're getting today.
Mhm.
So it's and I think that's like the off topic a little bit, but that's the big loser in integration is we didn't have our own move makers to I guess you could say bring up our community.
No, we had them. They killed them all.
What?
Oh, they killed them all. They put them in
They
jail.
gonna
I
kill
mean,
all of them.
that way I'm saying the ones that were actually in the forefront.
I got you.
Everybody else, I mean, fear.
Yeah,
You fall in place.
yeah, yeah. Hey,
So
that's a real thing. I mean, we witnessed, well, not witnessed, but Martin Luther King was assassinated.
mm,
Malcolm X was assassinated. Medgar Evers
Medgar
was
Evers.
assassinated. Sure, there's many others who were
Yeah, the
assassinated.
bunch of Black Panther.
But that's a real thing.
Mm,
If you chose a certain path, it's almost like getting into a gang today. That's a violent life,
mm,
but people still do it, knowing
yeah,
that the outcome could be death. Well,
yeah,
that's what it was during that time too. If you chose to be righteous and
mm.
doggone fight the movement or fight, whatever how you want to say it, then it was a chance that you could be at the other end of a bullet.
But it was for a greater cause, and
It was
that's when
it
we
was
had.
as
That's when we had
absolutely
men, right? We had men, masculinity once. We're trying to protect uh,
you,
the
our
youth
women,
coming up,
our
our
children.
women, our children, everything else. Um, That's where we need to go back to.
Yeah,
Stop dying in the streets for stupid shit.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
because
if I'm gonna die, it's gonna mean something. It's gonna be about something.
and yeah,
Well, if somebody killed me, I'm gonna die anyway. I can't live forever. But
What?
if I get in a place
you
where
can't live.
I'm gonna die for something, where somebody takes my life, it's gonna mean something.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
hopefully,
yeah. I mean, it could happen, but
yeah,
if I have something to do with it, that's what
Right,
that's what
there
I'm
you
saying.
go.
Yeah, if I
There
have
you
something
go.
to do with it. So
because it's people out there looking to victimize people
Yeah.
for just because.
Mhm. Anyway,
What you got there, bro?
I don't fear nothing else, and
So you don't feel nothing
no,
else?
I don't. I talked about the fear. I don't want nobody else.
Yeah,
Arachnophobia.
see, that's not a healthy
you know,
fear of
yeah.
spiders.
Yeah, arachnophobia.
I heard Michael Jordan. I was watching his what's the Last Dance,
The last interview.
and he was he said something very poignant to me. He said, "How can you be afraid of a shot that you haven't taken yet?"
Mhm.
And I said, "Damn, that makes a lot of sense. Why are you?" He was like, "You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Why are you afraid of it?" And that translates to life. How can you be afraid of something you hadn't done yet?
Mhm.
Do it and see. Then if you mess up, like, oh damn, I messed this up. Maybe I need to do it this
Do
way.
a different way.
Or
Now you know.
or I'm not doing that no more.
Mhm.
But you ain't did it yet. Now if you got some facts out there to say, if you step in front of this train, it's gonna run your ass over. Then you don't step in front of the train.
Mhm.
Like I said, that's just being
Yeah,
reckless.
yeah.
But you talking about a basketball shot or
Mhm.
or an opportunity in life to move up in the world,
Mhm.
and you don't take it. How? Because you afraid. That's crazy.
Yeah,
What's
so
that?
well, I had another video, but
Oh, okay.
it was 7 reasons, whatever white people fear black people, but it cut off. So I'm just gonna play this. So if they want to look it up, they can go look it up.
All right.
Atlanta Black Star, whatever the the people are that put this video out. But it's what we were talking about. I mean, how they fear the black man. But you have anything else? Because I'm gonna
No,
end
go
up in
ahead.
this. I'm gonna end up in
Let's
this,
end.
and we out.
I think that was a good show,
I
man. And
appreciate everybody.
we need to revisit fear, and and come up with some ways to overcome it. Maybe get some therapists, one of your therapist buddies, to talk to us about overcoming fears.
Okay, that's an idea. That's an idea. I could reach out. So yeah, appreciate y'all tuning in.
Good job.
Um,
Where Ashley? Did Ashley check in?
no, now Ash. Well, she's been running stuff, and I've been busy
Yeah,
too. I've been running other
She
stuff.
saw
So
this Falcon shirt. She was.
she was free.
She was afraid.
Ashley,
She had the
when
fear
you
in
see
her
this,
heart.
because she gonna see this later, just go ahead and say something. I'm gonna show it to him because he not on social media. So go ahead and throw
She
something in the
was
comment.
afraid.
You talking shit, Ashley.
A little fear. I ain't never hurt
Um,
nobody.
Anyway, we gonna close out on that bullshit there. We gonna close out and we gonna see y'all next week. All right, we'll holla at y'all.